So, some of you may have seen that Andrea and I have completed this phase of our relationship. Honestly, I just turned this on just to talk. No idea really what I want to say about everything. I think relationships are the most powerful ways that we learn about love. I think they're the most powerful way we learn how to grow. And I think it's an outdated paradigm to end a relationship with hate in your heart or closing your heart. It's not more spiritual to not feel your emotion. It's not more powerful to put on a happy face. And it's not bad, wrong, or weak to cry, to grieve. And what I'm learning now is that it's very disorienting to have someone leave your life after years of being with them, doing things a certain way, waking up a certain way, going to sleep a certain way. And through that disorientation, you learn to live a new way, that's what I'm learning right now, is how to live a new way. A relationship has taught me so much. 2 years ago, I was so different. And I learned, over the last 2 years, I learned about my self-worth. I learned about abundance. Going from getting my car repossessed and sleeping on couches. That's when I met Andrea. I was sleeping on couches. And by the end of it, or I could say the new beginning of it, I'm in a, luxurious, beautiful home in San Diego. I learned about transparency and being able to share all parts of myself, my past. I shared things with Andrea I haven't shared with anyone. And there's a certain amount of freedom and so much love that is created in that moment. And I will always hold on to that. Always. I'll always see our relationship as powerful and positive and beautiful, because that's what it is. That's how I see it. And it's brought me to a place that I couldn't have got to alone. Early on in our relationship, I created a lot of expectation for our future. And when I met Andrea, I was in a place where I needed certainty. I've had relationships ever since I was 17 years old, on and off for almost 10 years. Mostly on. So it's such a normal for me to be in a relationship. And so in the beginning, yes, it was coming from a genuine place of, hey, this is where I see us going. Let's talk about the future. Let's talk about this vision. And a lot of it was what I wanted. All of it was what I wanted. But my need to have her buy into it and agree to it was coming from a place of seeking security and wanting to know that I could open up and invest and open my heart and show up for the relationship. And that was ultimately, from my end of the relationship what led to an imbalance that I created within myself. Because through what Andrea taught me, through the transparency, letting go of stories, reflecting back where I'm holding on to my own self-judgment, and us working through that, having conversations, we never yelled at each other once. Not one time. Every single conversation we had would complete itself only once we both felt like we grew from it. So the most powerful relationship I've ever had with anyone. And so where I am now, and what's been coming up recently, is I don't have any expectations. I don't need a vision to attach to. I'm so in my passion now that version of me that created all of that in the beginning of the relationship has died. It's completely died. And so there was a disconnect that I felt, and what I'm learning is putting expectations on your partner is a sure way to create imbalance, to create disconnect, to create distance, to create an unrealistic standard. Let me put this in. I've even noticed my own old patterns coming up. Patterns of, well, now that I'm alone, I need to go find someone, wanting the attention, the validation. But it's different this time. It's different in the sense that it's there, but it's not, I don't identify with that. It's transparent. I know for a fact any of my old ways of rebounding and this sort of thing, it just wouldn't serve me. And it's not who I am. And I think that's one of the main lessons I learned through this relationship, as well as who I am and what is my truth, and that my past doesn't equal my future, and I get to rewrite and choose who I am now. And so I'm just learning so much, Relationships don't have to end in a negative way. You don't have to erase them off your social media and block them and hide and cover all traces and hold on to judgment and talk poorly and all this stuff that has become so normalized in our culture. There are major relationship shifts and upgrades happening right now. And I think one of the greatest is this honoring of a sense of completion, honoring of what both people believe is best for them, and letting that be the unconditional love, which is just unconditional acceptance and not holding on to judgment because of someone's choice. And I just think this can lead to so much freedom for people to not fear an end, but always see them as new beginnings and as transformation. And to also know that you can't fuck up what you're meant to do, or who you're meant to be, or who you're meant to meet. There's certain things you can't mess up. The universe has our back. We can't not fulfill our destiny. Doesn't matter what happens, we can't not. And if there's a certain person required, it will happen. It's the universe's will. And so with that, I know that moving forward, I'll find exactly what I need. And I'm open to whatever that is. Whether it's me being with me for years and years and enjoying that relationship in a new way, whether if it's a different relationship, or it could be a different relationship with Andrea. I don't know. I, again, am in a space of no expectation, of full openness, because I know what it's like to close, to feel closed. And I also know that the only way out is through and being with what I'm being with now in full acceptance and full openness, and just letting this process and just having these waves of emotion and waves of tears and waves of release is, for some reason, exactly what I need for who I'm becoming. And I know that's what the world needs, and I know that there's a reason for all of this. And that it's all right. That nothing can break you. Nothing can break you. Unless you want to break yourself, then you're still not broken. This being said, I guess I want to show people that there is nothing to fear around putting your heart on the line. Yes, you may have deep, uncomfortable emotions. Yes, it may be sad at times. Yes, you may get angry at times, all these things. But all of that is for a reason, right? Because if those emotions stay and stay and stay and stay, it doesn't have anything to do with the relationship. It has everything to do with parts of you that are still not healed. Those that hurt you heal you. And if you take responsibility and dive into yourself, right? Me reflecting and saying, you know what? Because my need for certainty, because I felt, if I didn't have the certainty and I was alone, then being alone, that must mean I'm either unlovable or, I'm not a valuable partner and all these things. Diving into those beliefs that the relationship reflected back to you. The relationship didn't create the negativity or the trauma. It revealed where the negativity, trauma, limiting stories already were. So the hurt and the pain, yes, that'll come up. Yes, that's okay to wash all that through. But if that stays, it's your responsibility to take responsibility for the relationship, to forgive yourself, to know that you did the best you can with what you knew. And that's enough. That's enough. And to be open and honest and transparent. And to always, always use it. Use your experience in a positive way. Because it always, always can play double duty. It can always give you also what you feel like it's taken from you. It can give you much, much more. And on the other side is only more of you, more freedom, more love, more expansion, more growth. This is how the relationship continues to serve you after it's done. So, if you choose to use it in a way that is positive and for others, then just know you got this. And that I'm here for you as much as that I'm here for me. And I leave this video to you with love in my heart and gratitude in my heart and openness and forgiveness and lessons learned and growth and expansion moving forward and refinement of my truest, refined self. And that's how I choose to honor this relationship.